We already know what business is like. The exchange of goods and services for payment, right? That's business. But when it comes to international economy, it has moved more than where we are at this point in time. It means we're talking about outside this country. So basically, international economy implies what? Globalization. Do you get it? So look at what I wrote on board. International economy logically experiences what? Globalization. So this is international economy. It is not internal anymore. It is not internal trade. It is international. Now when we talk about international, then it means this country with relationship with other countries. Other countries relationship with your country. This is what we call international trade. A trade relationship between countries. So, what is globalization? Look at what I wrote. This is the term used to describe the movement of people, capital, exchange of cultures, and use of technology across the world. So, because there's globalization, I'm able to stand in front of you to teach you. It's because there's globalization. If there's no globalization, I might not be opportune to be here. Because there's globalization, I'll be able to move from my country down here. Movement of people. Capital. Because there's globalization, some foreigners can invest in this country. Do we understand globalization? Exchange of cultures. I could tell you more about Nigeria, you could tell me about Libya. We do international days. International day, we do it, right? Globalization. And the use of technology across the world. You can have a child with someone in Bahrain, someone in Miami, wherever it is. It's because of globalization. So, do you understand what globalization is now? The movement of people, exchange of cultures, trade relationship, technology usage across the countries or across the world. That is globalization. Is it clear? Why do we even have globalization? What are the reasons for globalization? There would have been some events that would have bring about this globalization we're talking about. So look at the events that have warranted us to have globalization. Adam, are you here? One, increasing numbers of free trade agreements. This has increased trade relationship between countries, giving customers opportunity to buy in different countries. There's what an increasing numbers of free trade agreements. When I talk about free trade, it means a trade without barriers. What do I call it? Trade without barriers. Or a lessened regulation. So going outside, you don't have to go through a lot of stress. So selling abroad, you don't have to go through a lot of stress. Bringing from abroad, you don't have to go through a lot of stress. That's what we mean by free trade. Increasing numbers of what? Free trade. Maybe there's tariffs and there's an increase in tariff before now. But because of globalization, the reduction of tariff has reduced. There's a reduction in tariff. Quota has reduced. All these things will improve or will give us more about what? Globalization. So globalization continues to be rampant in the society because there's free trade. So there are some countries that you are unable to relate with in terms of transaction, but now you are able to transact with them. So if you are blocking this country before now, and this country is open for you to transact, it increases your globalization. That's what we're talking about here. Is it clear? So because there's what? Increased numbers of free trade, then globalization is coming into place. 2. Improved and cheaper links and communication between countries. This increases what? The dispatching of information without delay. Now we can communicate online real time. I don't have to wait until the next day before I can communicate with you because you're in America. I will communicate with you, I will dispatch information right now. I will send you the information. Even if you ask me when you wake up, you're going to see the information. So the communication system becomes easier and more accessible than how it used to be. So because there's communication now, because there's flow of communication between us, we are able to transact with each other. We are able to trust each other. So it's just as if we are seeing each other. But then that there was no internet, you wouldn't even want to buy anything from abroad. It is so difficult because you don't even know who you are transacting with. But now you could get information from via the internet, you could dispatch information, you could get referrals from people, You could seek information from wherever source you want from. So this has increased globalization. So globalization comes into place because now we can communicate with each other. Now we can get information that we need at any point in time. So this brings about what? Relationship abroad. Globalization. Is it clear? 3. Increase in emerging market countries. This applies to increase in industrialization. What is industrialization? Industrialization is a process through which a non-industrialized economy becomes industrialized. I'm going to say it again. Industrialization means what? A process through which a non-industrialized economy or country becomes industrialized. And when they say you become industrialized, it means you improved in what you manufacture. Do you understand what I mean here? Please let me just write that out. Industrialization. Okay. Industrialization. So, globalization is what? The process through which a non-industrialized economy, a country that is not manufacturing, starts manufacturing. That means that country becomes industrialized. Is it clear? So, because there is increase in industrialization, there will be globalization. Now your country continues to produce. Your country started producing. After production, what do? You export. Yes or no? Yes. So, because you are able to export, then that means you have joined the league of exporters. Then globalization increases. Do we get it? Yeah. And that's the last one about reasons for globalization. So it means what has brought about globalization. So these are what have brought about what? Globalization. Is it clear? Yes. Then we go to the opportunities and threats of globalization. Globalization is good, yes, but it has its own setbacks. So let's look at the opportunities about globalization. I meant the importance of globalization, the advantages of globalization, and how it impacts to the business. 1. It increases the sales of goods abroad. Now, because it's globalization, businesses can export their goods abroad, and this increases their revenue. Yes or no? Revenue for businesses. Increases, yeah. I think it's clear. 2, it increases the operations of multinationals. Because there's globalization, Shell can come to Libya to have its company. ExxonMobil can come to Libya to have its company. LC Wakiki can come to Libya to set up a factory. It's because there's globalization. So globalization has brought about companies coming into this country to set up. People from this country could set up in other countries too. Do you understand? So it's an advantage, isn't it? So what's the advantage about this? It means a lot of international products can be bought even locally. So customers can exploit. Customers can buy whatever they want to buy, either locally or internationally. Is it clear? The third one, it increases importation, buying from foreign businesses. Because there's globalization, another opportunity is that now we can import whatever we cannot produce here. Whatever we can't produce locally, we can import. Is it clear? It's an advantage, right? If there was no globalization, we wouldn't be able to import. So we have to do with whatever we have. But with globalization, we can import goods or services from abroad. Is it clear? Is it clear, please? The fourth one, it allows the country to purchase raw materials and components from abroad and still produce the finished goods locally. So, with globalization, we might have the skills and the expertise to produce our products. But because we don't have the raw materials to produce these products, with globalization, we can import raw materials and still finish the product in our country. Do you get it? So globalization has allowed us to import raw materials or components and put them together in our country. So it is made in Libya. Components from abroad were made in this country. Is it clear? Yes. Now, what are the threats? What are the problems of globalization? Number one, increasing imports to home markets. This will increase competition and put local business into pressure. Because it's globalization, multinationals are setting up in this country. And when multinationals set up in this country, it is logically known that they have more quality than local made businesses. Yes or no? Yes. So this might reduce the sales of local businesses. Is it a threat or not a threat? Is it a threat or not? Yes. It is, because consumers will start buying from international businesses, the multinationals, because we believe they have more quality than the local made products. This becomes a problem for local businesses, isn't it? Two, increasing investment for multinationals to set up operations in home country. This may create more competition for local businesses, as multinationals may enjoy economies of scale, leading to reduction in their average cost, which local businesses may not be able to enjoy. Local businesses are not so big, unlike multinationals. Because multinationals are so big and huge, they will enjoy economies of scale, which is what? An average cost reduction, a cost advantage for them. So this will make their products to be cheaper. And if their product is cheaper, local businesses cannot compete with them with the same price. Do you understand? So prices might make it become difficult for local businesses to sell. Because multinationals have economies of scale, their cost is reduced. So they can sell at a lower price, in which these local businesses might not be able to do that. This is another problem for the local businesses. Yes or no? 3. Employees may leave local businesses which cannot match the wages paid by multinationals. Multinationals have money. They have financial capability. So they can pay whatever they want to pay. So what is the problem? Employees will want to leave the local businesses to work with multinationals. Do you understand? Because multinationals might be able to pay them more than local businesses. Do you have any questions about it? Are you sure? Stop it.